Today, we're exploring the life of one of the Bible's most notorious figures, Jezebel. Was she truly the embodiment of wickedness, or is there more to her story? Let's unravel the cinematic tale of the queen who dared to challenge a nation's faith. Our story begins not in Israel, but in the powerful Phoenician city of Tyre. Jezebel was a princess, the daughter of King Ahab, raised in a culture that worshipped a pantheon of gods. With Baal at its head, she was a woman of wealth, status, and unwavering devotion to her own traditions. Her world was one of opulence, maritime trade, and a religious system deeply woven into the fabric of society. Then came a marriage that would change the course of history. To forge a political alliance, Jezebel was wed to King Ahab of Isreal. Imagine the culture shock, leaving the bustling, cosmopolitan city of Tyre for the more austere, monotheistic kingdom of Isreal, where the worship of Yahweh was central. From the moment she arrived, Jezebel was an outsider, a foreign queen with foreign gods. But Jezebel was no quiet observer. She was a force of nature. Instead of assimilating, she brought her culture with her, actively promoting the worship of Baal in Israel. She sponsored hundreds of Baal's prophets, and even used state funds to build temples and altars to her god. For many in Israel, this wasn't just a difference of opinion. It was a direct assault on their national identity and their covenant with Yahweh. This set the stage for an epic confrontation. Enter the prophet Elijah, a rugged, fiery figure who embodied the traditional faith of Israel. He saw Jezebel's influence as a spiritual poison corrupting the land. The tension between them was palpable, a battle of wills between the queen and the prophet. This conflict reached its legendary peak on Mount Carmel. Elijah challenged Jezebel's 450 prophets of Baal to a dramatic showdown, which God would answer with fire from heaven. As the story goes, the prophets of Baal cried out for hours, but their God remained silent. Then Elijah prayed to Yahweh, and fire consumed his water-drenched altar. It was a stunning public relations disaster for Jezebel, and a decisive victory for Elijah. The crowd, swayed by the miracle, turned on the prophets of Baal. When Jezebel heard what had happened, she was enraged, vowing to end Elijah's life. The prophet, who had just faced down hundreds, fled in fear of this one determined woman. Jezebel's reputation for ruthlessness is cemented in the story of Naboth's vineyard. King Ahab coveted a vineyard belonging to a man named Naboth, who refused to sell it, citing ancestral law. When Ahab sulked, Jezebel took matters into her own hands. She orchestrated a plot, framing Naboth for blasphemy and treason. False witnesses were produced, and Naboth was unjustly stoned to death. Ahab then took possession of the vineyard. This act of cold-blooded injustice showed just how far Jezebel would go to achieve her aims. But every reign comes to an end. After Ahab's death, Jezebel's power waned. A military commander named Jehu was anointed by a prophet to seize the throne and wipe out Ahab's line, including Jezebel. As Jehu's chariot thundered towards her palace, Jezebel knew her fate was sealed. But she didn't hide or beg. In a final act of defiance, she adorned herself, painting her eyes and arranging her hair. She faced her executioner not as a victim, but as a queen. She looked out the window and taunted Jehu, her last words dripping with contempt. So, who was Jezebel? To the biblical writers, she was the ultimate villain, a symbol of foreign corruption and idolatry. But through another lens, she was a woman of incredible conviction, fiercely loyal to her own heritage and gods in a foreign land. She was a political player, a powerful queen who refused to be silenced. Her story is a complex tapestry of faith, power, and cultural collision that continues to fascinate us thousands of years later. Was Jezebel a wicked villain or a misunderstood queen?